Welcome back. Student asked me first thing, Miss James, are you going to ask us to write about the top 10 things that we did over Christmas break? And guess what Miss James said?
No.
No. I said no because that is an antiquated assignment. Antiquated. I'm almost positive that's how you spell it. Antiquated. Yes.
Does antiquated mean non-important?
It does not mean not important. Let's dissect the word. Yes, ma'am.
Does it mean inappropriate?
It does not mean inappropriate. What word does it have in it that you recognize?
Anti.
Huh? Antiquu. What? Antique. Antique. Not anti mean against antique. So what is something that's antique?
Old.
Oh.
A relic.
Okay. So something that's old. So if a practice is antiquated, what does that mean that practice is? Not overused.
Old.
It's old. And if you had an antique dresser and it had like a date on it of like excuse you, I'm talking. If it had a date on it of like 1944, so you would say that was an antique dresser, right? Right. Is that dresser old? Yes.
Wait, are you calling my grandma old?
That's the year your grandmother was born. I haven't talked to your grandmother since the last time I saw her at Walmart. I'm not calling her anything. If you were born in 1944, it is what it is. At this point, I wouldn't call her old. I'd call her blessed. Antiquated means something that's outdated and no longer used or practiced. Does that make sense? Okay, so you just learned two things. What's the first thing that you learned? The meaning of antiquated. And what's the second thing you learned? How do we even get to talking about antiquated?
Because a student asked if we were going to write down the top 10 things we did over winter break.
And I said no because that's a what?
Antiquated.
That's not antiquated question. That's an antiquated policy or assignment. Okay, I mean it's outdated. But and guess what? You had peer pressure because I didn't want my kid to go back to school and not have something that he didn't have to write about. So I got the credit card out, charged it, and there we go. But now we know that's the antiquated that's an antiquated thing to do. We don't ask kids about that because lots of kids don't feel like lying. Yes.
Like, is that okay to tell a teacher that it's like that is an inadequate like question to ask? Because I mean,
Just say you're not comfortable with it.
what?
Just say you're not comfortable. You say.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing to say. Say I'm not comfortable with that question.
And if they probably ask you why, just say, some other kids might think like, oh, well, I didn't do anything over the break. And yeah.
Try to be respectful as possible.
Yeah, very much so. Probably.
Outdated.
Huh? Yeah. So, do you agree with me? This is an antiquated thing to do.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, it's very insensitive.
It is that too. Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about that. What does insensitive mean?
You don't really care about thinking about what.
Yeah, you do not care how that makes other people feel. Insensitive. And I'm gonna say this: my very first year of teaching was a trying year because I was very insensitive because I did ask that question, and then I started thinking, wait a minute, girl, did you go into debt with your credit cards doing that? What if you just don't ask the question? And guess what? We're going to talk about better things. First thing we're going to talk about is what's on this paper.
No.
Yeah.